If you're like me, over the years, you've watched movies like Star Wars, Blade Runner, Terminator, Hunger Games, and countless others that are set in these horrible futures where life is very dark and dismal. And one of the reasons these movies are so chilling is they don't show you how things got that way, how they went from a, quote, normal world, very much like our own, if you could say ours is normal now, and turn into this horrifying dark reality. So how did they get there? And how close are we to there? Are we already there? If not, how close are we to that transition, to the point of no return? If we were miners, we could use a canary to see just how toxic is it here. If we look around, we see the canary, it hasn't died, but it's choking. It's not doing well at all. It's choking under the toxins of hatred and fear and divisiveness as these poisons smother our way of life. It's easy today to blame and point the finger at the villains who are responsible for this, the guys in Washington who are making a mess, the protesters. But if you look around and you ask enough people, you'll see that the fingers are pointed in all directions. And so much so that it's easy to forget that the real villains, our real challenge isn't them over there, it's not us over here. And it's not even the very real problems that we face of hunger and poverty and inequality and injustice. These fuel the fires of hatred, but they're not the central problem. The real evil is we're fighting against each other rather than working together to find solutions. And as we fight, as we further polarize ourselves, we forget our commonalities. And the people who are profiting from this pain, from this polarization, just get stronger. They consolidate their position. And pretty soon that dystopian future will be here. And the only us and them will be humanity on the one side and the oppressors on the other. Divide and conquer is not just a slogan, it's happening right now. The canary is choking, and if we continue on this path, I think it's going to die. If we want to survive, if we want to prosper, have a better future, we need to learn to talk and work together through our differences, despite our differences, embracing our differences. And if we do that, we can solve the problems that in the end aren't very different for all of us. So what do we do to heal our divided nation? How do we form this more perfect union? I think it's really simple. We talk and we listen to one another. And we do that, we understand each other better. We discover our common values, our common goals. We find solutions. We create possibilities for peace and prosperity, for safety and security for all of us. Mediators like myself have seen this resolutionary approach, not a revolutionary approach, a resolutionary approach work countless times with couples who are angry and bitter and mistrustful as they go through a divorce and they're fighting over their property and their kids. And they come together to put aside their differences and work together for the good of their children. We've seen conflicts between nations and people who have been at war come together and choose the path of peace. We see people come together in times of crisis and disaster like 9/11, or more recently in Texas and Florida, or even Las Vegas. People coming together to serve their fellow humans. So what can you and I do right now? We can start to talk and to listen, especially the people that don't agree with us, like maybe within our own family. I know it's not always easy. That's why if you go to our website, you'll see that there are resources and projects that we have and countless other organizations who are working to start dialogues that seek to find commonalities and solve problems rather than point the finger. The choice is in our hands right now. Do we continue along this current path, or do we learn a new way of being together and show that when the canary was choking, we changed course?